Hey everyone, welcome to Soul Whispers Tarot. I'm here again with another pick a card reading. This reading is, what does this person want to happen between you both? What are their deepest desires in that respect? So we have 4 sets of cards today. Set of cards number 1 is the orange selenite sphere. Set of cards number 2 is the pink aura quartz point. Set of cards number 3 is the amber. And set of cards number 4 is the yellow aura quartz point. So I'm really loving my new crystals, the pink and the yellow aura quartz point. They go really well with a clear quartz point that I have as well. And I just love anything that's bright colours. I love anything that's got a rainbow on. So any of the aura quartz, I really love those. So these messages for this reading are general messages, so take whatever resonates, leave the rest. Please don't make these messages fit your individual situation if they're not resonating. So I'll give you a few moments to tune into the energies of the cards, and it's perfectly fine to be drawn to more than one set of cards. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So this is set of cards number 1, which is the orange selenite sphere. And you have the Crystal Visions Tarot. Thank you to everyone who told me what this tarot deck was in the comments, because I couldn't remember the name of it in the last reading. So thank you for that. And we also have some of the messages from the Divine Masculine cards. These are my own creation. They're not currently for sale for those who have reached out to ask me. Thank you for your inquiry. Okay, so what does this person really want to happen between you? What are their deepest desires when it comes to that? So there's the 5 of Swords. The Knight of Wands, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Tower, the Hierophant, the 3 of Cups in reverse, the 2 of Swords in reverse, the 6 of Swords, the Empress, the Hermit in reverse. Move these along a bit. And we have I'm Stuck. And that came out in reverse, and I felt that was definitely relevant in the reverse position. I love this path. We are meant to be. Help me. I feel you. Okay, so what does this person really want to happen between you both? So there's definitely a scenario here where there's a tower moment. Someone's felt stabbed in the back. You may have felt stabbed in the back. But also I'm feeling for some of you, you may have walked away from this person and they felt stabbed in the back as well. They definitely want reconciliation is what I'm feeling, especially with we are meant to be, and I love this path. So for some, there's definitely a spiritual path going on here because there is the Hierophant as well. This person wants to dedicate themselves to this spiritual path. They want to continue walking down the path of your connection. They still want to work on the connection, but there was definitely an energy of betrayal and abandonment and rejection. So this person's walking away with 3 swords, and the 3 of the swords is the heartbreak card. So whoever walked away or pushed you away, or who pushed the other away, because I feel like it could be on both sides, was in a place of heartbreak. So this person had a lot of negative stories about past experience to do with abandonment and rejection. So I'm feeling as though they blame themselves. I feel as though they've not felt good enough when it comes to love. They've experienced a lot of betrayal and they've taken it extremely personally. So I feel when you met this person, that's the state of mind that they were in. They were stuck within very limiting, very negative, pessimistic thoughts about themselves. So they didn't feel worthy enough. And so their energy of heartbreak is, you know, what was pushing you away. And you were left with 2 swords, which is confusion. The 2 of swords is this card here. You felt confused. You didn't know whether to stay or whether to go. You didn't know whether to walk away. You didn't know why this person was pushing you away when you felt as though you were offering them love, you were offering them healing and a new beginning, because there is this help me card and there is the Empress. I feel a lot of you were very nurturing with this person and you didn't understand why this person was pushing you away. But to me, it's always about an energetic alignment or misalignment. You know, if we're not in a vibration of self-love, then we don't feel worthy of receiving love. And this is the place that this person was coming from. They just didn't feel worthy for love, and so they weren't in alignment to being able to receive that love. They didn't have self-belief. But I do feel for some of you, you've walked away from this person now, and they felt kind of stabbed in the back. They feel confused about maybe why you walked away. Some of them, perhaps they may have felt that you would always kind of wait around for them no matter what. And it shocked them when you didn't, and when you did walk away. And this person is having regrets because they're realizing that when they've pushed you away, it's caused you to distrust them. It's caused you to second guess them and see them in a different light. They want to race in with this Knight of Wands. They want to make amends. They want to be confident is what I'm feeling. They wish that they had high self-esteem. Some of them, they may have pretended to you that they were this Knight of Wands. They may have been very passionate. They may have tried to make out that they were confident when it came to flirtation, or if you had a sexual relationship, or some of them, they're just wearing masks and they're just trying to impress you in certain ways. But this is what they're wishing they truly were. They're wishing that they, you know, had a lot of self-esteem and confidence so they could really take action. So what I'm feeling is that this person wasn't really taking action because they were the Hanged Man. In reverse, this is saying they really, really want to free themselves from the binds of their fears, their doubts, this misalignment within themselves. They want to align with genuinely being confident and going for what they want and, you know, taking action. This is the image that they were portraying to you, because, you know, these characters could almost be the same character here. They look similar or the same. So yeah, they were portraying themselves as more confident. It may have, you know, they may have been acting in certain foolish ways, but really they were like this Hanged Man. They felt stuck. They felt, and it was like divine timing. It was part of the soul contract. You know, the Hanged Man is about the person hangs themselves upside down by the ankle in order to, you know, take a pause, in order to see things from a different perspective, in order to achieve enlightenment. And so for some of you, this is a really deep connection about learning, about growth, about spiritual awakening and ascension. And so there really did need to be this time of pause. There really did need to be this time of going inwards It may have come across and felt like stagnation. It may have felt like you're both going in circles. Some of you may have waited for this person a very long time, and then you basically realized that you couldn't wait any longer. Something may have happened, because there's the Tower card, that made you realize that you can't afford to wait for this person anymore. You've got to keep moving forward. You've got to keep living your life. In the reverse position, this person really, really wants to break free from stagnation. They want forward movement, to move forward towards you. They want forward movement of your connection again. But there has been this Tower moment, but it's a blessing in disguise, because I'm feeling as though there were unhealthy dynamics going on within your connection, where there was too much waiting around, there was too much stagnation, there was too much of an ego. And it may have been on both sides. You know, it may not have just been this person that was wearing a mask and trying to pretend that they were something that they weren't, or trying to pretend they're more confident in order to try and appear more attractive. There was too much of that going on, too much worrying what the other person thought, and therefore trying to act in certain ways to impress the other person. But it wasn't being their true authentic self. So that was actually blocking the connection. That was blocking them from loving themselves, because they were stagnating with the Hanged Man. They were getting themselves all caught up and tied up in this mask that they were wearing. But that was actually what was blocking the connection. So the universe had to step in. The universe couldn't keep that stagnant cycle, karmic cycle, keep going. And so there was a breakdown of your connection, but really it was for the higher purpose of the breakdown of this fear-based tendency to wear masks and trying to impress the other, which was blocking you both. And again, that could have been both of you doing that. So this person is wanting to really commit to this spiritual path. There is that I love this path. This is a very spiritual card, the Hierophant. And they're wanting a positive new cycle, because this is almost like the Wheel of Fortune as well. Their highest priority, the one at the top here, is the yin and the yang. Their highest priority right now is to come into inner union within themselves, which is basically embracing their true self and not, you know, wearing masks or trying to impress people or worrying about what people think of them, worrying about what you think of them too much. That was their tower. That was their comfort zone. You know, trying to manipulate how people saw them. Because, you know, they really believed their self-worth was dependent on your opinion of them or other people's opinion of them. And that's what's broken down. The Tower is like the breakdown of the ego. You know, the ego tries to protect us, but basically it limits us in a major way. So there has been this awakening. They want a commitment. Some of them, they may even dream about like being married to you. They may want to really have you in their life in that way. They may want the committed relationship. But for right now, what I'm feeling is this is them really connecting with the spiritual path, basically letting go of resistance, or resistance was crumbled for them kind of thing, or these illusions that were keeping them in resistance, keeping them in fear. All of that was broken down in order to reveal the truth to them. So they've had epiphanies, they've had realizations about how they were keeping themselves stuck and how it wasn't serving them or your connection. So there's a Three of Cups in reverse. This person wants to release any addictions. Like this could be socializing too much in terms of drinking alcohol, or they could want to free themselves from friends who aren't really true friends. When I see the Three of Cups in reverse, often to me it's like fair weather friends, like friends that are there for you when it's a good time, but anything more serious, and they vanished into thin air. This could obviously be third-party situations that they want to free themselves from. There may have been like illusions. They may have run away from your connection to go towards that third-party situation, because you know, the Two of Swords, this could have represented the two of you, but then they've got the Three of Swords, so that could be the third-party situation that they were choosing. Doesn't necessarily have to be a specific person. It could be anything that was blocking them, basically, from committing to their true self. And their true self, I feel, is what naturally draws them to you. So I feel as though that was the ego's, if they run away to be with someone else, or they run towards a different path that didn't include you, that was their ego's way of trying to prevent this crumbling of the ego death. It's like deep down they knew this was happening. They knew it was about to happen, and it was extremely scary because initially, we do as humans think that who we are is based on the ego identity. Like, it's basically the part of our mind that collects all this information about who we are. Like, I could say my identity is I'm a tarot reader, I'm a spiritual counselor, I do this, I do that, I've achieved this, I've achieved that, or people have said this about me, my parents said this or that about me, and we can collect all that information and we believe that is who we are, but it isn't. A lot of that information we collect is very limiting or very self-sabotaging, very critical kind of thoughts that really hold us back. But, we get used to that. We feel a sense of comfort in that identity. And so this person could really feel on a deep down subconscious level that they were going to be breaking free from that comfort zone. But they were scared to do that because they didn't know what was going to happen after that ego breaks down. Because it can feel as though we're losing our mind when this spiritual awakening happens. Like, a lot of people say they feel really crazy, they don't know what's real and what isn't, and they get really scared, they feel like they're losing their mind, but really it's they're losing the ego, the part of them, the part of the ego which is very limiting, and it's more based on things we've achieved or haven't achieved in this current lifetime. But our true identity is our infinite soul that incarnates in every lifetime, the timeless aspect or essence of ourself. And so, that is an extremely intense process to go through, awakening. And so this person may have run away and pretended to themselves that they didn't need you anymore, they didn't want you anymore, because, that was more comforting to the ego to avoid that destruction of the ego. So that I'm seeing the moon here, and in the reverse position, the moon represents fear, and it represents the subconscious. It represents the subconscious coming up into the conscious awareness. In reverse, to me, it was like they were running away from their fears. They were running away from this awakening, because many of them, they felt as though they had no one around them who would understand what they were going through. And to me, this is like the friendship card as well. Like, their friends had no idea what they were going through. They felt like they didn't resonate with their friends anymore. But now what they're really desiring is to release anything that isn't serving them. They may have had friends that gave them some bad advice, or friends that tried to interfere with your connection, or anyone who tried to interfere with your connection or their awakening, anyone that tried to keep them small, basically, and that they may have been fooled by. They couldn't see clearly initially. Freeing themselves from that, freeing themselves from immaturity. Two of Swords in reverse. So they wish that, well, some of them, they feel like they've left you in confusion. Like I said, that you were left with the Two of Swords, the confusion card, not knowing whether to hold on to this person or move on. They're really wanting you to hold on to them, is what I'm feeling. But they feel as though some of you are resistant to them now. You know, you're crossing your arms over your heart. You've put that blindfold on, like you don't want to see them. You don't want to open your heart to them. You don't want to think about them. Some of you, if you are in a different relationship, because this Three of Cups could represent that as well. If you're in another relationship now, they may be thinking that you're using that to just try and avoid thinking about them, or you're using that relationship to try and move on from them and forget about them. But, you know, whether that's the case or not, only you know that. Some of you, I feel that you've genuinely found commitment, and you've genuinely found fulfillment, but, you know, commitment did come out as well, from someone else. Some of them, they're really wishing that they didn't have that confusion in the past, because a big part of them really did want to move towards you and get your connection off the ground and have that commitment. But then there was a bigger part of them, in a way, like their fears in that moment that was holding them back. They're really wishing that they could basically heal from this Five of Swords energy, pushing you away. Six of Swords is like healing, or moving on from this energy of fear and resistance, fear of being open and vulnerable. Some of you did move on from this person, and they just have a lot of regrets. Some of them, they're really hoping that you can move on to a brighter future together, because they're hoping that you're going to be this Empress, which is you're going to return to being open and receptive to them, and nurturing, caring, compassionate, loving, generous. You know, all of the things that I feel that you have been with this person in the past. They're hoping that you're going to return and keep being open with them. I do have to say that for some, I feel as though they're very upset that you've walked away from them, but at the same time, they have this unconditional love for you, and so they want you to be happy. If you have moved on, if you have moved away from them, they're hoping that you can find happiness and fulfillment in your life. Seeing all these apples here, sometimes apples represent temptation. Like you may have been tempted to stay in this kind of toxic energy, this karmic cycle. But now you're facing towards the butterflies. This is transformation, spreading your wings, liberating yourself. Just noticing there's two swords here. You're letting go of confusion. This is what they want. Wow. They want you to let go of confusion, because you're holding the two swords here and the Two of Swords cards. Like, you've walked away from this person. They don't know, you don't know, you know, what to do with this person for some of you. Then you've let go of the Two of Swords. And this was in reverse as well, which is letting go of indecision, letting go of resistance. They want you to let go of those two swords, the confusion, and open your heart again. Go with the flow. Be receptive to them. Some of you are the Hermit. You've been the Hermit. This is another card of walking away, letting go of baggage when it comes to this connection. They're hoping that you're not going to walk away for good. They're hoping that you will return. Some of them are really desiring to come out of their shell as well, the Hermit. Some of them, they literally may have just had fears of getting too close to you because they felt very intimidated. It's like their ego felt intimidated by you because you could see the real them. You made them feel naked and vulnerable. They were so used to wearing masks that it felt very uncomfortable for your eyes to be able to see beyond their mask. It's like you were shining light on their true self, and it just made them feel incredibly self-conscious. I'm stuck in reverse. So again, that's interesting that it's right near this Hanged Man in reverse as well, where he's got all those ropes tied around him. So in reverse, it's really saying they want to become unstuck. They want to move forward on this path. We are meant to be. So they really feel that you two are soulmates or twin flames, or you have a really deep connection. They really feel as though your connection is meant to be. Some of you, they feel that you are meant to be together romantically. Others of them, they may be going with the flow right now because they may have felt like they screwed up, and they may have felt like you did as well, you know, both of you in certain ways. But there was definitely needing a time where you both needed to come out of that stagnation. And so some of them, they may be going with the flow and just seeing what happens with this connection, because they can see that maybe both of you were trying to force things in the past in certain ways, and they're seeing how that didn't work out, and that created a tower moment. So they're going with the flow. But there is this help me, you know, they want you to come back like that Empress and be helpful in terms of being kind, compassionate, maybe communicating with them again, being loving, showing empathy. And I feel you. They're really wanting this telepathic connection to return. Some of them, they may feel as though the telepathic connection where you can feel each other's emotions and feel the love that you both shared, and some of them may feel as though that's kind of dissolved or disappeared a bit, and they're wanting that to return. It's like they're missing that element of your connection as well. So I'm going to look much more deeply into how this person feels, what they want to happen, and what is going to happen between you in an extended reading in Vimeo. So I'll leave the link to that Vimeo reading below this video in the description box. So please check that out, and I really hope this reading has resonated with you and that it's been helpful. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really helps me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and that will notify you every time I release a new reading. So I hope to see you over on Vimeo. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. So this is set of cards number 2, which is the pink aura quartz point. So what does this person want to happen between you? What are their deepest desires when it comes to that? So you have the Tarot of New Vision or something like that. It's called something like that. And also the messages from the Divine Masculine cards. These are my own creation. They're not currently for sale, but thank you to everyone who's inquired about those. So what does this person want to happen between you both? There's the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, Death in reverse, the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Fool, the Hierophant, the Four of Wands, the Lovers, the Knight of Cups. And you have, my heart is broken. Honesty is important. I want to do things right. Give me some space right now, and I'm here for you. Okay, so what does this person want to happen between you both? Well, they see you as this Queen of Pentacles. They see you as very loving, very nurturing. And look here, behind the throne, it's got like a carving on the back of the throne. And this Queen of Pentacles is very generous. And there's all these almost like beggars or people receiving abundance from this person. So they're wanting you to continue to be generous with them. They're wanting you to be loving, kind, nurturing, giving. I feel as though they do feel there's an imbalance between you. They feel as though what you have to offer them is so much more than what they feel they can offer you. And I feel like that makes them feel bad. I feel like that makes them feel guilty in a way. I am seeing the children here as well, obviously, in the Nine of Cups. So I do feel there may be some kind of, I know this sounds strange or weird, but there may be some kind of parent-child dynamic going on here where they do feel more like the children. For some of you, you know, if this is a spiritual connection, well, it will be, but you know what I mean, if there's some of you have a realization that it's a spiritual connection, then you really feel this deep connection with this person on that level. And they do as well. They feel like they're on cloud 9 when it comes to you, when they think about you. And for some of you, I feel as though perhaps, and this won't be the case for everyone, but perhaps some of you have incarnated more on this earth realm than that this other person has. And I feel like you're definitely soul family members, and I feel there's a soul contract between you both where you're supposed to help this person with their ascension, help this person, because look, there's 2 pages here as well, and the Knight and the Fool, which is a childlike energy. I feel like you're supposed to help this person with their spiritual awakening. And I do feel like you're either a mother kind of figure or a father kind of figure in a strange way, even though that may freak some of you out. A parental kind of role. I feel there may be some kind of lesson here. Maybe you've given too much to this person. They've become codependent upon you. Basically, this person wants you to keep giving to them, keep helping them. I feel like you are really helping them, but again, there needs to be some kind of awareness here. Like, you can guide this person, but you can't do the lessons for them, kind of thing. This person, you know, they may have friends around them. You may feel as though this person's immature or something like that because they're focused on other things. They may not be focusing on like committing to you, or this is, you know, what's been going on in the past. But they're very much there for you. For some of you, you may be the one that's in the limelight in some kind of way. Because in the traditional tarot, this card shows the man that's achieved a lot. And it's almost, whenever I see these, it's almost like trophies on display. So on the other side of this here, there's a man who's achieved a lot. So you know, and that man's kind of on display. He's displaying his trophies. He's displaying what he's achieved, kind of thing. And just like the Queen of Pentacles, some of you, you may be, like I said, on display in the limelight in some kind of way, or it could mean that you're not afraid to be your true self. You're not afraid to wear your heart on your sleeve. You're not afraid to communicate your truth. But they're kind of like these children here in the background, and you're kind of watching over them. But they're helping you learn as well, because, you know, anyone who has children, you know, as a parent that you learn so much from being a parent. You learn so much from your child. So, and you know, behind, again, it's like concealed behind her throne is this energy of the Queen giving so much abundantly to people who are in need. So this person's in need of you. I feel like they do need you, but then, like I said, there does need to be some balance about how much you're offering, because this person, they may have, you know, become too reliant upon you, but they do want this connection to continue. I don't feel as though if this person's hurt you, if there's an imbalance of give and take, I don't feel it's because this person doesn't care about you. I feel it's literally about a lack of understanding, or it may be a younger soul than your soul in terms of how often you've both incarnated on earth. So I feel like there is innocence within this person with all these childlike kind of cards and energies. There is innocence within this person, but you know, you may need to create healthy boundaries. It's definitely unconditional love here. Like, again, any parent knows that you will always love your child no matter what, and you always hope that they make the good decisions, but they may not sometimes. I feel it's definitely an energy of that. So death in reverse. I feel like this person's struggling with the ego death. So the ego death is basically who we believe we are before we awaken. And that's often a collection of beliefs about what we've achieved in life, what our career is, what we haven't achieved. When people have praised us, when people have criticized us, you know, we gather all this information together that's come to us from the external, and we believe that's who we are. We believe that's our identity. And often a lot of that is quite negative thoughts, negative beliefs about self, fears about what everyone around us thinks of us, all things like that. That's not who we truly are. Who we truly are is our infinite soul that incarnates every time, or, you know, our eternal essence, our eternal soul. So there's definitely a spiritual awakening here. I do feel there's a soul contract here where you're meant to assist this person, and they are assisting you with your awakening as well. But it's in different ways. It's kind of in complementary kind of ways. But I do feel there's an imbalance of give and take here in terms of in the physical, in the tangible. But in terms of spiritual lessons, there is a balance going on. But this person's really struggling to go through, as they're going through that ego death. They may not realize what's going on. They may feel as though they're losing everything around them. They're losing what they've always known to be true, including their own identity, the false identity, the ego identity. And so I feel that's why this person's in resistance. They're hoping, though, that if they've pushed you away because they literally couldn't give you what you may have wanted in the 3D, because that may not necessarily have been, you know, what your connection was about, you know, having the romantic relationship. But I do feel like some of them, they definitely want that. And in the future, there may be a possibility that your connection's going to evolve into a romantic, balanced connection. Right now, you know, they fear losing that current dynamic that's been going on, because I feel this is someone that has a very wounded inner child. And I feel like you're kind of loving them in all the ways that they really needed to be loved as a child. They're needing that unconditional love, and I feel like they didn't receive that in the past, but they're receiving that from you. And so a part of them definitely wants the romantic relationship, but then another part of them, it's like the inner child, is afraid of losing this love that you're giving them in this way that's healing their inner child. They're afraid of things becoming equal, because the inner child is still feeling like they need that parental kind of role that you may have been giving them. But they're worried, you know. It's like the other part of them does want to give to you equally, but I feel because they are this child like energy essence, it's like they literally cannot give you the amount that you've been able to give them in a tangible 3D kind of way, in a way that you may have been wanting them to, in a romantic way. But there's the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So they are trying to give back to you, but you know what you have to offer, you're the Queen energy, and what they have to offer as the Page is, you know, what they have to offer is not as much in the 3D. But they're trying to give back to you equally. They're trying to show their appreciation. They want to show their appreciation. They want to do the steps, take the steps that they're being guided to take by spirit. Death is about transformation. It's like they want this transformation so you can be together romantically, but then another part of them is afraid of that. They're afraid of losing the current dynamic. Page of Wands, they're hoping that there can be a fresh start within your connection. They're hoping there can be a new beginning. What's really interesting is it shows the woman like walking away here. So some of you had to walk away. Maybe there was some kind of codependency going on here. Perhaps you were trying to steer this person in the right direction too much, or make them do the healing, or maybe you were trying to do the healing for them kind of thing. But then has needed to be this time where you've kind of walked away temporarily so they can go on this new beginning of, you know, healing themselves, being more self-reliant, because they were relying on you too much. But they need, these are both followed by the Fool. This is a leap of faith. This is a major brand new beginning, because it's the first card, but it's the 0, so it can also be the final card in the major arcana in the tarot. And so this really is a major new beginning for this person. This is the spiritual awakening. And I feel like they have to go on this journey alone for a while. They've got to learn how to have faith in the universe within themselves. They've got to learn how to release their baggage, because he's only taking this little satchel. They've got to learn how to trust their own intuition. In the traditional tarot, it shows the dog, which is almost like biting the person's ankle, trying to stop this person from taking that leap of faith. So to me, that's like their own inner voice that was causing them to doubt, causing them to overthink things, and they kept stalling on this path. They kept wanting to take this leap of faith and move forward and do their healing, but then they kept turning back, or they kept running away from that. They kept staying in the comfort zone. They kept doing the same kind of thing. So you had to walk away. They really want to commit to this spiritual path now with the Knight of... I keep saying Knight. It's because it says Knave, and so I associate that with the Knight, Knave, you know. Page of Wands. They want a new direction on their own. This is them creating their independence, which is needed. They need this inner union. They need to cultivate this inner strength, this inner self-love, and they're really going for it. So this is maybe what's going on right now. If you're not in communication with this person, if you've gone your separate ways temporarily, so that they can commit to this divine path, this awakening. You know, if they're going to be your equal, If they're going to learn as much as what you've learned, then they've got to go on this path on their own for a while. But I do feel as though you're still always connected in spirit, in 5D, in your higher selves. And you're walking through this gateway. To me, this is like a gateway. You're walking through this new beginning together. You've helped each other with ascension. This is for balance, stability. This is the twin flame card. This is the marriage card. So you're both having this inner union within yourselves. And this person wants the physical union just as much as you do. They want to be together with you. For some of you, this will happen on earth in this lifetime. For others of you, this could represent like the soul family, celebrating, like this is your true family and you're part of each other's soul family, most definitely. Whether you're twin flames or not, you know, that label is irrelevant. You're definitely soul family is what I'm feeling. The Lovers and the Knight of Cups. So yeah, this person has to go on their own path for a while. They have to strengthen themselves. They have to rely on themselves and not on you. And it's going to bring you back to this lover's energy, the Knight of Cups, this person coming in, expressing their emotions. You know, they're graduating to become the Knight energy. So this is more confidence than the Page and the Fool. But it's still a young person. It's still not quite the King. But they definitely want this union on all levels with you. They want the relationship with you. They want to open up the visor. They want to take off the mask when it comes to you. But they're a knight. You know, they're going to have to fight their inner demons. They may have to fight like for their freedom in other areas in their life as well. But there's two white horses here. Whenever I see a white horse in the tarot, to me it's about being on the path of your highest good. They're achieving this. It may be slower than what you hope. And I wouldn't recommend you waiting around for this person, because then that may potentially stunt your own spiritual growth. My heart is broken. Honesty is important. I want to do things right. Give me some space right now and I'm here for you. So I do feel there was some kind of separation here. Their heart is broken. You both may have felt betrayed or abandoned by each other in certain ways. And this creates so much fear and pain within this person initially. But, you know, it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. It was, you know, pulling that crutch out from beneath them. They need to, you know, walk on their own. They need to strengthen themselves and heal and grow for themselves. Honesty is important. So they may have had issues with expressing their emotions or being their true vulnerable self with you, but they're realizing how important that is. They realize how important it is for them to be honest with themselves and live their life embodying their true selves, rather than wearing masks, or rather than being influenced too heavily by societal expectations or family or friends' expectations. You know, being true to themselves is what they're doing now. I want to do things right. So yeah, they may have felt as though they made mistakes, made poor decisions, but they want to do the right thing now. And that's why they're releasing resistance and they're going on this path of their highest good, of their spiritual awakening. Give me some space right now. Yeah, they need that right now so they can focus on healing themselves. Because I feel like in the past, maybe you were focusing too much on each other, and that was distracting you both in certain ways from healing yourselves, focusing on yourselves to the degree in which you have needed to. And I'm here for you. So yeah, They want to do things right. They truly want to be here for you, like you've always been here for them. But they also want you to be still here for them, is what I'm feeling as well with that. So I'm going to look much more deeply into this in an extended Vimeo reading. And I'll look into how this person feels, what they want, and what's going to happen between you. So I'll leave the link to the Vimeo reading below this video in the description box. And I hope this reading has been helpful and that it's resonated. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really does help me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications. And that will notify you every time I release a new reading. So I hope to see you over on Vimeo. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. So this is set of cards number 3, which is the Amber, and you have the Gilded Tarot and also the Messages from the Divine Masculine cards. These are my own creation, but they're not currently for sale, but thank you to everyone who has inquired about those. So what does this person want to happen between you both, and what are their deepest desires in that regard? So you have the Devil, the Two of Cups in reverse, the Hanged Man in reverse, the Five of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Eight of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. I am your knight, which is really interesting because 2 knights have come out. Fuck what they think. So someone's been worrying at some stage about what people think of them. I can see clearly now. It's okay, don't worry. And you mean the world to me. Okay, so let me tune into the energies of the cards for a moment. They're definitely wanting a reconciliation because they feel as though something's been lost within your connection. Someone's walked away here, but they want the return. They want the reconciliation. There's a Devil here. When I initially pulled this card, what I initially felt was this person wants there to be like an unbreakable bond between you. Right now, they're not too concerned about whether your connection isn't that healthy. Basically, this can represent codependency. They're not too worried if there's codependency here. They want you to need them because they need you, is how they feel. They feel like they're so afraid of losing you. There's definitely codependency here. So there may be some kind of dynamic within your connection where you both feel codependent upon each other. Or maybe this was how you felt in the past. Maybe subconsciously both of you or one of you have tried to make the other person codependent upon the other because of a fear of this connection slipping through your fingers, this connection not working out, intense fears of abandonment and rejection. So this person may want to keep that unhealthy dynamic going in some kind of way because they may be afraid of, really stepping out and doing things the right way. They may be afraid of all the healing and all the authenticity that they may have to embody in order for more harmony to come into your connection. They may fear being open and vulnerable, and so for some of them they may have played some tactics to try and get you hooked on them or try and get you chasing them, and this can work either way around or on both sides for some of you. But this is actually what's keeping your connection blocked from anything more authentic, anything more harmonious transpiring between you both. This person may feel as though they can't do things the right way at this time. They may have intense insecurities. I feel they may be going through like a spiritual awakening or something where they're feeling all over the place, or they're just feeling all over the place, even if they don't associate that with a spiritual awakening. They feel this deep yearning to be with you. They feel like they need you really desperately, and so they're feeling emotionally all over the place. It's an emotional roller coaster for them. And this can be addictions, like they're addicted to you, they're addicted to this connection, but because they're not in an emotionally balanced place, or they're not in a good place within themselves, if they have a lot of insecurities, then they may have been playing games with you to try and keep you stuck on them. But like I said, that's what's contributing to this Two of Cups being in the reverse position. This is imbalances, this is disharmony, this is a lack of communication. Excuse me. This is things not working out, or it can be conflicts, or it could be separation, or it could be that you have some kind of dynamic going on where it's more of a situationship rather than a relationship. This person may fear commitment because they're running away from themselves. But, you know, if one person's afraid of commitment and is emotionally unavailable, then the other person that's involved also is as well, even if it doesn't appear that way. You know, if we're chasing after, or if we're emotionally attached to someone who's emotionally unavailable and who isn't there for us, then subconsciously, you know, that feels safer to us than, or we just align with that rather than someone who's fully there for us. So your mirrors, just like, almost like it shows in this card here. So the Hanged Man in reverse. They're wanting movement forward within your connection. They know that there's been this karmic energy between you both where you've both been stuck. You both want the reunion. You both want the happy, balanced relationship, the real relationship, the real commitment. And you may have a telepathic bond here because it's like this light is meeting in the middle. It's coming from your hearts. Like you both feel the same love for each other. You're both thinking about each other all the time. And you may have this telepathic bond going on. And that may be what they're holding on to. It may feel safer for this person to kind of love you from afar, but there's this deep connection, this deep telepathic bond. They do want to free themselves from their inner demons. They do want the Two of Cups to be upright because it features in this Five of Cups as well. They want forward movement. They want to get off the karmic wheel that's been blocking you both. It's kind of like a catch-22 because they want to be with you, but then at the same time they're afraid that if things become too real, then they could possibly be rejected by you, or things may not work out and things may fall apart. And so, you know, they're not taking that action. And it's like they're worried about things not working out. They're worried about things breaking apart. They're worried about this loss, this abandonment. But at the same time, those fears are creating the resistance that's creating the blocks, that's creating things not working out. So again, it's like that catch-22. They may be afraid that they've lost you because some of you may have put yourself on hold for a long time waiting for this person, but with the Hanged Man in reverse, you stop waiting for them. You stopped putting your life on hold. You stopped stagnating and going in circles, so you walked away. This person is deeply wanting there to still be a chance for you to be together. This person may be beginning to start to prove themselves, or this is what they're currently thinking about doing. I am your knight. Fuck what they think. You know, there may have been some kind of opposition within your connection where they were worried about what other people thought of your connection. Some of them, they may have already been in another relationship. Maybe they felt intense pressure to stay within that relationship because of what other people would think of them if they were to break down that relationship. So yeah, that Two of Cups in reverse can also be for those who are in another relationship. It's not working. They feel codependent. They feel like it's their comfort zone, or someone's mistreating them. Someone's manipulating them and being like this devil energy, toxic towards them. They're slowly like liberating themselves, but they're going through mourning the loss of that. Even though they know it's for the best, it's still difficult to like end relationships. Very emotionally taxing, to say the least. So that can be a scenario for some of you. But the Knight of Wands, they want to be your knight. You know, they want to be your hero. They want to be your rescuer. They want to be romantic, brave, courageous. They want to fight for your connection. This may be what they've always wanted, but they may have been stuck in the devil kind of energy, having a poor self-image, not believing in themselves, not believing in their worth. And so that's what really held them back. That's what caused them to stagnate and go in circles. And some of you just got tired of waiting, so you walked away from this person, and then they're regretting it. They're really wishing that they'd somehow developed this confidence before you walked away. But some of them, they're coming in to they're coming towards you. They're coming to speak their truth to you. They feel a lot of passion, but I feel with the Knight of Pentacles, they also want to do things right. You know, they don't just, if this Knight of Wands was on its own, then perhaps it would represent someone that was, you know, wanting some kind of sexual liaisons with you, but then they weren't fully committing, like they were rushing in and out of your life. But with it coupled with the Knight of Pentacles, it's really saying that they want to do things right. They want to take things slowly in terms of building a firm foundation within your connection. They want to be a good provider. Some of them are building themselves up, not only in terms of confidence and healing, but in terms of finances. Page of Pentacles, they want to give you an offer. Some of them, they may be basing their sense of self-worth on their financial status, and they're not feeling adequate in that way. But for others, this is just really saying they want to ground the connection. They really want to prove themselves by doing something tangible or offering you a tangible commitment. There is this peacock here, so they want to impress you in some kind of way. They want to, you know, for some of them, that was their biggest downfall. Like they were this peacock, like they were prancing around wearing a mask, like trying to pretend to be more confident or more of what they thought you would want them to be, because, you know, there is this devil energy here, codependency, and fuck what they think. Like this person has been so preoccupied with how you're perceiving them and just totally not being their self is what I'm feeling. Totally just trying to impress you, but that's what's blocking the connection, because you need them and want them to just be their true self, because you feel as though their true self is good enough, but they think they have to change themselves in order to be good enough. But some of you, you know, I have to say this, some of you may need to be careful, because you may be not fully accepting this person for who they are. You may be saying to them that you accept them, But if you're wanting them to change in some kind of way, if you're getting frustrated with them, then, you know, sometimes, not always, but sometimes that can represent you not fully accepting them for who they are and you're wanting them to change. So for some of them, they are trying to live up to those expectations that you have of them, but they may be confused about what you're expecting of them, and so, you know, they're prancing around, but you know, they're not being their true self. 8 of Cups in reverse. So yeah, someone's walked away. Some of you have walked away, but they don't want you to. They want you to come back. They're hoping it's not you walking away for good. They're hoping it's temporary. They're hoping that this temporary separation is just for healing purposes. They're hoping it's so you can both see things clearly now. You know, clearing out any codependent energies that are actually keeping the connection going in unhealthy kind of circles. They want to communicate their truth. They want rapid movement. They want you both to overcome the obstacles. They want balance and harmony, because that's what 8 is. 8 is the infinity symbol. And yeah, we have the 6 of Pentacles here as well, a balance of give and take. They want to give back to you what you were giving to them. You were giving generously to them. They didn't know how to give back to you equally. They may have literally not been in the right place to be able to do that, either physically or mentally or emotionally or all of those things. But they want to give back generously to you. It's okay, don't worry. You mean the world to me. So this is confirmation that you don't need to worry about them, you know, not loving you. You may have feared that it was unrequited love because they weren't taking action, but it wasn't. You really do mean the world to them. So I'm going to look more deeply into how this person's feeling, what's going on and what's going to happen in an extended Vimeo reading. So I'll leave the link to that Vimeo reading below this video in the description box. And I really hope this reading has resonated with you and that it's been helpful. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really does help me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, and then you'll be notified every time I release a new reading or post something in the community tab. So please check out the Vimeo reading. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. So this is set of cards number 4, which is the yellow Oracle's point. So what does this person want to happen between you both? What are their deepest desires in that regard? So you have the Spiral Tarot, and we also have the messages from the Divine Masculine cards. These are my own creation, but I'm not currently selling them. But thank you to everyone who has inquired about those. So what does this person want to happen between you? There's strength. The 6 of Cups. The 8 of Swords in reverse. The 10 of Pentacles. The Wheel of Fortune. The King of Swords. The 8 of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups. I've been a fool. Everything's falling apart. Someone is triggering me. You fascinate me. And I'm the man. Okay, so put that one there. What does this person want to happen between you? So they want strength. to come into your connection. There may have been some things happening that have weakened the connection or have caused misunderstandings or caused hurt between you both, caused you both to withdraw from each other. Anything that's taken away from your closeness, anything that's been blocking like emotional intimacy and feeling as though you're on the same page. They're wanting healing of that. They're wanting you both to heal your egos. For some of you, there may have been arguments, or not necessarily, but there may be some kind of power struggles in one way, shape, or form. And they're wanting you both to communicate more harmoniously, communicate more effectively, communicate your truth. Someone or both of you may have felt on your guard because of feeling misunderstood or feeling abandoned or rejected in some kind of way, feeling unseen or unheard or not cared enough, feeling as though this person's not caring about your emotions or how you feel. You both may have been feeling this way, and so both of you may have put some walls up, had your guard up, power struggles, but they want in harmony to return. They're wanting for you both to communicate in a more mature way. And some of you, I can hear you saying to yourselves that this is everything that you want from this other person, but I do feel that this person wants that with you as well, whether whether they make that obvious or not. They want a balance of give and take, because there's the infinity symbol on the strength card as well. They're basically wanting any triggering, because someone is triggering me has come up. They're wanting any triggering to be worked through, healed, released. Some of them, they're going through family issues is what I'm hearing. Everything's falling apart. Like, I feel like they're going through a lot of turmoil within their family situation, or people that they need to stick up to, people that they need to release and speak their truth to in order to cut those ties, in order for them to have more emotional well-being within themselves, peace of mind within themselves. So any kind of like inner child traumas or any family situations that's been very wounding to you both, maybe being triggered up within your connection. And they're basically wanting healing. They're wanting for you to be on the same page and coming back to understanding and empathy and compassion with each other, because they're feeling as though that's what you both truly have for each other deep down. It's just when the pain body's coming up, when the pain body is being triggered, you're kind of reacting to each other from that pain body, but it's not your true selves. Six of Cups. So they want the happy reunion. Because look, they're looking back, and it's almost like they're looking back at their own past, and it's in, black and white. It's kind of dreary. It's a broken down home. Or, this could be a past life that you shared together, but they're wanting harmony. They're wanting peace now. They're wanting to come out of any darkness, any shadow, into the light, into the vibrant colors, into, happiness, peace, being on the same team. Because when you're out of alignment with each other, when the pain body's being triggered, it's almost as though there's these competing energies or power struggles, almost like where you're doubting each other or not trusting each other, and you feel like you're in different teams, almost like your enemies kind of thing. That's the pain body coming up and speaking. But your true selves, like your soul, your intuition knows that you're both soulmates or twin flames, or, the label doesn't really matter. They know, your hearts both know that you're meant to be together. It just feels right on that level. And so they're really wanting to return to that peace, returning to the innocence, the healing of the inner children within yourselves. And yeah, the Eight of Swords in reverse. So there's this realization within this person that it's when you both overthink things that is creating a lot of disruption within the connection. They're worried that your connection is over, or that it's going to create a separation or a breakup. If you both don't free yourselves from the overthinking or the negative self-talk or the ego that's trying to protect you both, but it's creating all these fictional stories about, you know, how this person's going to hurt you or abuse you or something like that. And picking up on an energy that a lot of you, you have these deep fears of getting hurt, basically. And that's what's causing you to overthink, or this person to overthink things. But they want to be free of that. They want the healing. They feel that your soul family, this is another soul family card, like that Six of Cups. Because some of the families in the higher realms, and then the others are incarnating. So this is saying this is your network, your soul family. You have spirit and soul family members who are watching over your connection. This is also saying that you share past lives and you're together in the higher realms, in other dimensions. They're wanting there to be this harmony, this family, this relationship on all levels, because they feel that it is a soul connection. So they're feeling the harmony on the true soul level, but it's just the pain body within the human selves that are creating those disruptions here. So they may want a family with you, they may want children with you. They definitely want the happy, harmonious relationship, though. That's their biggest, deepest desires for your connection. So the Wheel of Fortune. So that was a 10, the 10 of Pentacles, and this is a 10 as well. The Wheel of Fortune. They want the positive shift within your connection. They want to be, you know, they want your connection to get off the karmic merry-go-round. Whatever's been going round in cycles on repeat that's not serving your connection, they want that to be over. They want that to be dealt with. They want to have a major positive new cycle where you both move forward in harmony, basically. And they're hoping, you know, that luck's on your side and that things are just going to change for the better. King of Swords. So they want honesty within the connection, especially with the Ace of Swords as well. There may have been some kind of energy of hiding behind some kind of comfort zone. But they're really wanting truth to be spoken, communication, authenticity. They're wanting to get to the root of the issues now. They're not wanting to beat around the bush. They're willing to do the work and work on the relationship, work on the harmony, because this is an 8, which is the infinity symbol again. And, you know, that's about harmony and mirrors and working together. So this may be someone that really respects authenticity, really wants that. One person is really trying to get the other person to just express themselves, is what I'm feeling. And the person who is more capable of being open and honest when it comes to expressing their feelings, I feel has been getting frustrated at the other person who has had difficulties with their self-expression. For the person who had difficulties expressing themselves, you know, that may be what's led to some kind of tower moment or separation between you both. And I've been a fool. I feel like the person who had a lot of doubts and was hesitant, they're now realizing that they should have just trusted their heart. And that's why they feel like they've been a fool, because they didn't trust their heart. They kept their heart closed, and then everything started to fall apart between you. There's definitely some kind of epiphany that's happened here to deal with the triggering, and now they are wanting to communicate honestly. They're wanting to be a reciprocation when it comes to expressing emotions and really working in a mature way on problem solving and reaching healthy compromises within the connection. So they see you as the Queen of Pentacles. They see you as very kind and generous and open-hearted, very grounded. They're hoping that you're still going to be open-hearted to them. You're still going to be receptive to them, because I feel like they're working really hard in the background to be able to have this faith to step forward and truly commit to being vulnerable, commit to the relationship, because I feel like that's been the biggest block here. Fears of true intimacy, and therefore the mind creating all kinds of negative stories to, you know, put them off and question themselves and really block them from taking that leap of faith and stepping up and committing. They want the Ace of Cups. They want the new beginning in love. They want the second chance. They want to have an open heart, to be able to express themselves clearly, and they want the healing of any emotional repression. They want to offer you their heart. They want this joy that they feel within this connection that they share with you. And it is a heart awakening. So because your connection's so intense, it does mean that anything that's blocking both of your hearts from being open to give and receive love is being triggered up. So that's kind of like that imagery, the heart's awakening, and all this stuff's being triggered up. And it's created bumps in the road. It's created a bit of a roller coaster. But ultimately, in the long run, it's for the highest good of you both and of the connection, to create more harmony, more understanding, developing your skills of effective communication through, you know, trying to problem solve these issues that are coming up. You fascinate me, and I'm the man. So I'm actually seeing this as I feel like this person may be quite sensitive, like they want you to look up to them. They want you to really respect them and be fascinated by them and show interest in them. I don't feel like this is in a narcissistic way. It may come across as that sometimes, but I feel as though this person just hasn't really felt that special in their life. And so they really want this opportunity to really impress you and be the man, be kind of like the traditional provider, or be some kind of traditional role in your life where they feel like they're making a really positive impact on your life. And basically they're needing appreciation, and they're needing respect, and they're needing for you to really, what's the word? Not look up to them, but appreciate them as a person. And I feel like this is where some of the triggering's happening as well. If they feel as though you're not like totally into them, or if they feel as though you're not totally accepting or appreciating the real them, or something like that. So I'm going to look much more deeply in a Vimeo reading into how this person's feeling, what's going to happen between you, what actions they're going to take. So I'll leave the link to that below this video in the description box. And I really hope this video has resonated with you and that it's been helpful. And if it has, then please like, share and subscribe. It really does help me to grow my channel. And if you do subscribe, please tap the bell icon and turn on all notifications, so that way you're notified every time I release a new reading or when I write something on the community. And I really hope to see you over on Vimeo. Thank you so much. Take care.